just, his reputation had gone before him, and he was paying a bit of a price for that. And there seems to be a little bit of that possibly with Jadon Sancho going on here, and I don't think he's entirely to blame for it.
No, he's not. He hasn't been helped, and if he had felt victimised and singled out previously, he absolutely does now. Because now he feels like his private life has very much been made public, and there is a trade-off when you're at that level of the game. Like, I was looking at his social media platforms, and he has so many followers. Like, I'm actually very surprised by the number of followers he has, because he isn't an extroverted personality. He doesn't do an awful lot of media, and he has millions and millions of followers. So this guy is incredibly influential, and he must feel unbelievably vulnerable now. But he still had these problems at Borussia Dortmund, but he was able to mask that by his performances. Like, he played over 100 Bundesliga games, and he scored 38 goals and assisted 51. You look at his stats for United: 58 Premier League games, 9 goals and 2 assists. The numbers are stark in difference, but the problems are quite similar when you look at what happened at Dortmund. He was seen as a special case. There was special treatment for him at Dortmund to mind him, and they purposely partnered him with Erling Haaland. Not because it's so obvious that the generational talent, of course you want to partner with him, but it was more off the field and how Haaland approaches the game as a professional. So Sancho would almost shadow the guy. Even though he's a senior, he would shadow Haaland, and Haaland would show him the ways of the world and how to act accordingly as an elite professional footballer. And the reports were that on some days Sancho was world class in every sense of the word, on and off the pitch, and then the next day he would be the complete opposite. And that was in training. The reason it went so well for him overall is because on the pitch he happened to be fantastic. Hence United spending £73 million at him. He is United's third most expensive player ever.
This harks the treatment of him. Actually, as you're explaining it there, makes me think even more that it reflects badly on Ten Hag, because I think as a young player there will be an element of that sort of roller coaster ride of today I'm world class and now I'm not really sure how to cope with all this thing, and like that is obviously having an impact on his mental health on that side as well. But it does hark back to the Ferguson stuff that increasingly I really just think that he was a brute of a manager that really impacted very negatively long term on a lot of his players, as we're hearing increasingly. But just this sort of, I'm casting you out now and you can go and train on your own, like that's not a way to treat the player.
If you publicly criticise the manager and then refuse to apologise to the manager after he's asked you to do that, you're numbering your days at the club.